I've been writing songs for about 17 years now. And in that time, you learn a lot of tips and tricks to help you write songs better, but one in particular stands out to me as being the most impactful to my songwriting. And it is a process that I and others that have written with me call seeding. And in this video, I'm going to explain what it is and how it can actually help you write better songs tomorrow. If you just go and do this, it'll probably up your game dramatically the first time that you do it. And as you do it more and more, you'll get better and better at it. So if that sounds good to you, let's get into it.
They don't see the things that make me weak. Go to sleep, screaming at the words that I can't speak. I can't seem to fix this broken.
If you start off with writing lyrics, it's very difficult to take great lyrics and transform them into a great melody, because you're not writing your lyrics to a predefined good melody. Oftentimes you're not constraining yourself in the way that you need to in order to come out with a great melody and a great rhythm. There are countless artists throughout history, including the Beatles, who not only go melody first, but inform the rhythm and the word shape of the lyrics with gibberish. What I mean by that is if you sit down with an instrument or a chord progression or a piano, whatever you do to get a chord progression down, you find a chord progression that you can work with, something that expresses what's in your head to a degree, and don't worry about bridges and don't worry about choruses. Generally, I get melodies or rough kind of feelings in my head, and I have to find the root of it. So this is the root of what I was singing on the way to work today. So that's an old school doo-wop progression, right? You see, da, 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 da. I was kind of like feeling that Smino type of vibe, or that Andre 3000 kind of vibe, but over a classic doo-wop chord progression. Following the scent of a melody is super important, and then what I will do in order to kind of set the song off in the right context immediately is just start speaking gibberish. Just feel it. You were sitting on a painted from the blow up, and I was on the bonnet, baby. And I was so excited, you were so frustrated, and I was on the baby. But it I'll be fine, and I'll be fine, na 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 na. And I was on the bone up, on the blow up, and on it, baby. By the time I get there, I don't feel like going back to the root, right? So I'm gonna actually slide up to F minor. Yeah, that feels right. Just by following the melody, it's taking me where the song needs to go. Now, I think what we've just gotten here, what I was kind of playing over in my head on the way to work, is a chorus. It's memorable, right? I could follow the old Max Martin adage and make that melody the verse melody, and then think of something even better for the chorus. I always start my verses on the root. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of just going with the root chord for the beginning of my verses, but I really love songs that start off with some tension. So like this is the root, and like some tension would be up here or down here. So I think I would like the verse to be sort of starting on the second half of my chorus chord progression. That's where we are halfway into the chord progression that we just came up with, is right there. And then it goes here and then down. So I like that. I think I'm gonna do that. This song actually shares a lot of similarities with At Last by Etta James, because that song does the same thing, but from bridge to chorus. Instead, we're doing it from chorus to verse. So the chorus is on the one, but the verse starts in the tension on the opposite side of the chord progression. I could also steal some jazzy chords from At Last, where it does that, because it doesn't do it in this basic way that I'm doing it. It does it with some jazzed up chords. I'll have to remember that for later, but this is what it would sound like. And if it's all be fine, you'll be all be fine. Honey, all be mine. Why do it always feel like rain? Oh, I dodge it all the time. Put it on the floor. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. 'Cause I was sipping soda. Me on the floor. But I'll be fine. I'll be fine all the time. Now, I have my smart recorder app on the entire time that I'm doing this, so I can go back and pick and choose the melodies and the word shapes that I think sound best. What I just did is a process that I used to do every single day with up to 10 other people in a team. We would wake up in the morning, go to the kitchen, get our marching orders, and then go off and write songs, starting with this seeding process. And the whole formula was called SCORE, SCORE. It was developed by myself and a gentleman named Connor Smith who runs Studio 18 in Orlando. So first we would seed, and then after seeding we would compose. So we would take these sound recordings from cell phones and we would break down all of the little melodies and word sounds and everything that was in there, everything that the seeders came up with. And then we would rearrange it so that it had a consistent flow, so that it was more like a well-structured song, you know? And once it was arranged melodically and phonetically, then we would write lyrics. And that was called composing. Then we would orchestrate, which means finalizing the structure of the melody as it progresses through the different parts of the song and the chord progression, and then creating a rough production of the song. You might think, how do I speak my soul in a predefined melody with phonetical word sounds in it? Well, limitations unlock creativity, right? So by doing this, you're actually giving yourself some strict limitations to derive meaning from what was emanating from you or from the singer at the time. So I'm saying something in there. I don't know what it is, right? I think I heard, I was sipping soda, right? I was sipping soda. I heard, you were so frustrated. You were so frustrated. So like, words come out of this process. They just sort of like start off fuzzy and then crystallize and then form. Now I can take those words and say, how do I make that mean something to me? What does it mean, right? What does it feel like when I say those words in that melody? What's the feeling I get? And that provides the framework by which I can write lyrics. And this has upped my songwriting dramatically because I write every song this way now. And it forces my poetry to be better. I remember in English class when I was growing up, my English teacher, Sean McHugh, would force me to write every single morning in his class. But he would give us a structure. He would say, you have to write, you know, iambic pentameter, or you have to write a haiku, or you have to write a 5-paragraph essay. He would force us to write in different formats. And by giving yourself these limitations, you're unlocking your ability to just be freely creative and bounce off of those walls. But you're also ensuring that from the beginning, it sounds good. You're not gonna write lyrics that you love dearly and that you want to make into a song and then have to write a less interesting sounding song because now you're locked to the rhythm and the word shapes and the progression of those lyrics. Now this just scratches the surface of everything that I feel has made me a more capable songwriter. Not the least of which is studying poetry and meter and looking at the greats like Edgar Allan Poe and Shakespeare and breaking down why their words flow so well. So studying great poets and knowing about stressed and unstressed syllables, all those things go into it because it'll make you even more capable in the lyrics department if you know how to pick prettier words, if you know a lot of words. So if you want to express something, you have a diverse selection of different word sounds to choose from in order to express that. But seeding, doing what I just did there, can help you write songs dramatically better today. And that's how a lot of the greats wrote songs, is they started with gibberish, finding the melody and finding the chord progression roughly, and then doing multiple passes on it. So every pass we do on it, the chord progression cleans up, the melody cleans up, and the lyrics start to take shape. So that's just a quick tip from me this morning. I'm actually diving into editing because I've got a whole bunch of great videos that I think are really gonna help you guys out coming, but I wasn't able to get them out for today. So I just wanted to come here and sort of share my morning with you, and hopefully it helps you write awesome songs. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you already do or if it's something that you're gonna try out. I would love to know. And if you write a song with this method and you love it, share it with me. I would love to hear it. I miss those days when I would seed every morning with like 10 other songwriters, and I just love that atmosphere, that sort of like creative, collaborative atmosphere. So I hope to see you guys in the comments, and I'll see you guys next week with some badass videos. Peace out.
Taking your